How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and this is my truck.
And for the last 8 years, me and this Ford F-350 have driven across the country, towing trailers, cars, and parts.
And if I'm honest, that experience was terrible.
This truck is old and falling apart, not fuel efficient at all.
And it is way, way too big. So I decided to downsize.
But my options were either to get a new truck that cost north of $50,000 or buy something old that looks like this. But then I Googled good cheap trucks sold outside of the United States, and that made things very interesting. Say hello to Australia's answer to the perfect two-car garage in one car. It's called a Ute. It's half truck and half supercar, available with a fire-breathing V8 that can put out twice as much horsepower as a brand new mid-size truck. Now, even in Australia, a good Ute is still pretty expensive, so I enlisted the help of a good friend to buy a cheap, wrecked one and help me import it.
But the only catch is I have to be there to pick it up from the port in Indianapolis, Indiana. And since shipping is super expensive this time of year, I'll have to fix the car there, then drive it back 1,000 miles. At least, that's the plan. Okay, behind that door is something very, very special.
Oh!
Woo! Look at that!
What is that?
That is our new truck.
This is a 2008 Holden SSV, and while it looks insanely cool already, I knew that this car would need some major work. So taking it out of the container was step one, which was no issue for a petite man like me.
You know, I have been losing weight, which is great.
But it's still super tight over.
It is a little bit. It is a little bit. Ah, it smells like the ocean. I'm used to this smell. I have to get in kind of like a gazelle, you know? There we are.
Oh wow, I'm surprised.
Look at that. Look, there's plenty of room, you know? These, turns out Australians and Americans, pretty much the same size.
Here it comes, keep coming.
That is super dope.
Oh yeah. All right.
Welcome to America.
Wow, boy, my arm's tired. Dude!
That is really
Oh
cool.
my goodness! That is dope!
Did you just do that right now?
Yeah, we just did that right now. It needs a little bit of work in this area right here. Take a look at this. So this is the coolest thing I've ever seen come out of a container. We have seen some cool things. Has a spare tire. I don't think this is where they usually put them, but that's okay.
What was the point of having a bed?
What?
It has a bed. Why is the tire in there?
Well, the tire's in there just because I don't know. Maybe there's something in the bed. Maybe there are people in the bed. We should cut that part. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. That, my friends, is a 6-liter LS engine. The same engine that you would get in a Corvette or a Chevy SS or a G8. This thing is awesome. This makes a decent amount of power, a ton of torque. And we will now, we're not gonna work on it here because we just unloaded it, but we are going to get this on a trailer and then we're going to work on it and make this run and then hopefully take it home, which is 1,000 miles. And I'm really excited about that because it is super cold.
Little right. Yep, straight. Keep going.
Right, turn right. Okay. So we seem to have beached it a little bit. It is quite heavy and it's hard to push uphill, and we don't want to try to start it because
We don't know.
we don't know. So
Hey, what's the white stuff in the air?
it is also snowing. I can't feel my hands. The wind hurts my face, but that is the coolest car in the world right there.
After pushing the dead Ute onto the trailer with no outside help, I brought it back to my friend's garage to get a better look at my new car. Now here's what I know so far. This car's paint job is super rare, and it's called Morpheus Purple. It has an aftermarket tonneau cover, which the Australians call a hard lid, and a 6-speed manual transmission, and a bill addressed to me in the amount of $10,000 Australian. That's right, this amazing vehicle only cost me $6,200 USD, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I had my fingers extra crossed that we wouldn't need any special repair parts, because the nearest Holden dealer was 8,500 miles away and shut down 4 years ago. And we only had 3 days to fix this car before we had to be home for the holidays. So it dawned on me that this project might be a bit on the difficult side.
All right, so buying a car across the world sight unseen, and then picking it up out of a container and then driving it 1,000 miles is a really daunting challenge. In fact, thinking about the challenge nearly stopped me from trying. But I've learned that that's the thing about comfort zones. They can make you feel really comfortable, but they can stop you from life's biggest adventures. I have personally struggled with this a lot. Now, what changed everything for me was that I realized it's okay to ask for help, to have somebody that can share my concerns and fears, and honestly, just have somebody to give you some perspective. And if getting out of your comfort zone is important to you in 2025, then you might want to consider my longtime sponsor, BetterHelp. So real growth happens on your own timeline, not anyone else's. Talking with a therapist on BetterHelp can help you break down those vague feelings of being stuck into specific, manageable steps. On BetterHelp, you can access a diverse network of 30,000 plus licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties and backgrounds. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified, and you can easily switch therapists at no cost at any time if it's not the right fit for you. Don't just set a New Year's resolution and then immediately break it. BetterHelp can help you start fresh any day of the year. Now, if you guys need help with your mental health, go check out the link in my video description. It's betterhelp.com/Tavarish. You can get 10% off your first month of therapy. I have done it. It's totally worth it. Go check it out right now. This is exciting. So we now have this on the 2-post, and my friend Travis Bell, he has been instrumental in not only getting this car, but he has a wealth of knowledge on this platform because he brings these cars in and he knows these cars inside and out. I don't know what I'm looking at because this is like a GM platform, it's an LS engine, that sort of thing, but I don't know what the differences are between this and like a G8 or a Chevy SS or something like that.
We are a whopping 3 inches longer here on wheelbase and then 3 inches longer out the back. So this is 6 inches longer overall than the G8.
That's a lot.
Someone loved this.
Was it the previous owner though?
We do have headers.
Yeah, so these giant guys right here. So they're headers are exhaust manifolds that are like tubular in design, and they go into this collector, like this 4-into-1 collector, and then they go into what seems like a pretty big, like beefy back box, which should have like some emission stuff, but I don't think it does.
It needs a mid muffler right here.
Yeah.
It's gone. There'd be something here.
Well, actually, these might be sport cats.
Yeah, definitely sport cat.
Yeah.
And they have met the Australian tarmac a couple times.
Yeah. This can't be stock, is it? Is it?
Yeah, that's catching to stock because
Really?
here's the flex. The flex has been welded up.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's stock, and then stock out. This muffler looks a little short for stock.
Okay.
But this is where you get the extra inches for the G8 back here.
The extra inches is just right here.
Right.
It's a little extension. Already, this tire has got a grade, and it's an A+. Yeah. I bet it's probably pronounced A+.
King springs and then with KYBs. So somebody chose a good spring and shock.
All right, so that lowers it how much do you think?
1.5 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, just gives it a better stance so it doesn't ride and look like a truck.
The tires are what seem to be fairly mismatched, but they do have correct inside and outside, which is good. But they are...
They've got some fun names.
Diamondback.
Yeah, they are.
They're Diamondback tires.
Well, and then what do you got in the front?
We got Sport Life Vittora.
Vittoras.
Yeah. So we got Vittoras, Diamondbacks, and A+. You know, that's what I want in life. These are high flies.
Yeah, they are.
That's a high fly. Okay.
So none of the tires matches.
No. All the suspension looks okay, but if you come under here, everything is real weepy. So there's oil here, there's oil coming out the back of here, which means either there's an oil leak in the pan or it's rear main seal. none of which is good. This had a little bit of a shunt in the front. My favorite Dr. Seuss book. That doesn't look bad at all. That looks pretty okay. I don't know what it looks like underneath, but it looks like that looks totally usable. The fender is from the G8. The bumper cover is not. That is a Holden, so it's an Australian part, which we can't get here readily. So this is a 6-liter LS engine. I think this has probably been breathed on a little bit because it has this nice sticker that says Night Train Automotive Enhanced, and that's their number.
If you are Night Train and know what was done with this,
please send me a comment because I don't know what you did. It does have a catch can, and it is very oily. So catch cans are usually used for
catching oil
after it's
dispersing oil.
Yeah.
Please notice the bracket tree.
Oh yeah.
That is electrical tape.
I think it's going to run, but it may run like absolute garbage.
I think it's going to run like a dream.
Okay.
But I think everything else behind it's going to be absolute garbage.
Okay. If you're right, then I will buy you lunch.
If I'm right, then I will buy you lunch. It's the same
You
thing.
see what he did? It says start require something, but then it says something has trouble starting.
Okay.
So that's cool. And then it says look, and this is bleeding. So that's good. Look, diff, clunky.
No. Lock, diff.
Lock diff clunky, and then transmission. He could just be a automotive journalist, and he didn't like the feel of it.
You're familiar with Australian slang, right?
Yes.
That's
We have that here too.
this is just in case.
This is just a formality for when the hood comes down and kills us.
Rex, a big fan of the light snow today.
Ooh, yeah,
Beautiful out.
it is snowing
Beautiful out, yeah.
today.
I came out today on my leggings. Not anymore. Yeah.
That is leggings. You are wearing leggings currently.
So the date received was the 26th of June, 24.
So it went to auction 6 months ago.
6 months ago.
Cool. 173,602 kilometers. Ooh.
You got something?
Oh, we have
Yeah.
lights, yeah.
It says welcome, system check. Come on, system check complete. All right, okay. I think we're good. And we have a quarter tank of petrol. There we are.
That's more Freddy-ish.
So it's power seat up and down, but manual back and forth. We should check the oil. I figure it's an LS, it's probably okay. You know, it has a catch can. It caught something. I hear fuel pump. I'm gonna cycle it a few times just to make sure that there's fuel.
Nothing happening up front.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Come on.
Oh! Whoa! It sounds good.
Listen to that, dude! Listen to that! Is that
There's
a
something
cam?
going on.
That sounds like a cam,
Something
man.
going on. Let it heat up, and then we'll give it a rip or two. But
Oh my
it hasn't
goodness.
started in 6 months. It's sitting on Australian gas. It was in a container for 2 and some change months. It's here in Indianapolis. It's snowing. Freddy's here. Dude, this is
Awesome.
Yeah! Hell yeah!
Come on, Australian fans. Dang it. You gotta love this
That
thing.
sounds awesome.
I'm gonna need a grinectomy.
We already have some oil vapor coming out of here.
Somebody should have probably emptied the can.
Yeah, that's okay. But it smells like it's been.
There's something going on.
This is a little lopey.
That's, I mean, it is good Lofi.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
not like, and no pop, no
Yeah,
tick,
no lifter tick. It's running smooth.
Rex, let's talk about the lunch I'm about to have.
All right.
I guess I owe him lunch. All right, guys, let's see how this thing sounds. Ooh,
Sounds pretty good.
that oil catch can is
It's a lot.
That's a lot. That's a lot of blow-bys. Like let me give it a little more.
Yeah.
What's the red line of this thing?
Not enough.
Okay, cool.
About it. Wow.
Oh, wow. That's sharp. That's something. This may look alarming, but I'm not alarmed quite just yet because This is what's called an oil catch can. And what it does is it allows all the vapors that get built up in the crankcase to go through this catch can, and instead of going into the intake where you don't want any oil, this catches all the oil that goes from the crankcase into the intake manifold. But this is not what I'm going to be checking right now. What I want to check is the charging system. So the alternator should be putting out 13.5 to 14 volts, and we have 14.4 volts, which means our charging system absolutely works.
All right, so you're 2 for 2.
2 for 2. This engine runs really, really nicely. We are getting smoked out quite a bit, and to be honest, this oil smells a lot like fuel. So there might be some blow-by happening. We should probably not breathe this in. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, she died. And it was very, very clunky.
Go ahead.
All right, we're gonna take it on a little test drive and hopefully it won't die, but we have to see what that transmission and rear end issue is all about.
You got flat tires.
Got flat tires?
On front, look at it.
How flat?
I've seen worse.
Okay, if Tommy's seen worse, then it's not that bad. So usually when a car is this full of mold, you don't wanna roll the windows up, but problem is it is very, very cold. Okay. Let's reverse. Ooh. And we died. That battery might be
Yeah, why don't you just tuck it down in here then.
Oh, should we just make it?
Yeah.
It's like a little
Make it the battery.
yeah, that's the battery. First gear. Ooh. Oh boy. That's pretty clunky coming from the rear end. So what's really cool about Travis's place here is that he has a go-kart track around his property. Oh my goodness, this is popping all over the place. He has a go-kart track around his property. Ooh, and we can test this car without actually having to take this on the road. The go-kart track is a little bit tight and technical for a big purple pickup truck, but we're gonna do our best. Oh. All right, that I believe is a problem, and I'm trying to be as smooth as possible with this accelerator, and it's just lurching and bucking and jumping. Well, it's not overheating. We do have battery voltage, so that's all good. Everything there is fine. Oh. It feels like the bottom of this car is just falling apart. That sounds like rear end, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm off the gas. It's just doing it by itself. Come on, come on, come on. There you go. There we go. I'm not doing this. This is the way the car is driving. So it may seem like my purchase was not exactly the best quality, but it's still so cool. I mean, how cool is this car, Tommy?
I mean, the paint alone makes up for it, right?
That's right.
Plus, it's your money, not mine.
Oh, that's popping. That's real bad. What I think we can do is if we get this on the lift and take out the fluid and see what that looks like, because if it looks like a stripper convention, that's probably not a good thing.
We limped the Holden back onto Travis's two-post lift and got to work removing the mismatched wheels and tires, with the intention of never putting them back on the car. This gave us a great view of the stock brakes, which, as you can imagine, were well past their use-by date and in drastic need of an upgrade. But all of that paled in comparison to the elephant in the room, which was the clunktastic differential. So I came up with a plan.
Now it is time to get dirty and we have to thrash You can see I'm wearing my gloves because we're gonna get dirty, but we have to make a list. And this is gonna be the list for the big, stupid purple Ute. Now, in order to get home, we have 1,000 miles to go, and the car is in no shape to drive 1,000 miles. So the number one thing is to fix that clunk. That's a H. I don't know how to write. Clunky rear end. That's the big one. Fluids / tune-up. Is it still called a tune-up? It's not called a tune-up, is it? Do you give cars tune-ups?
Not in Australia.
Not in Australia. They're called kangaroo-nups or something. Then we do brakes, and the brakes are gonna be really interesting because, well, I'll just show you later. I'm not gonna give it away right now. Wheels and tires, because it is 20 degrees currently right now, and I don't think a bunch of mismatched and dry rotted Chinese tires are gonna cut it 1,000 miles. I don't wanna die. So we do this, and then we do a little once over, you know? And then we drive until Florida. I forgot a few things. The car has damage, doesn't it? So maybe in here somewhere, like in here, we do fender, front bumper cover, if we can find one. So that is what we have to do today, because tomorrow this thing has to drive 1,000 miles because I didn't get another hotel night, and hotels now are expensive for some reason in Indianapolis. Let's get to work.
Now, even though Australian cars aren't known for their rust, it still makes a lot of sense to use penetrating oil on all of the bolts that need to come apart. So every exhaust bolt, hanger, and suspension mount got a healthy dose of the slippery stuff. And to my surprise, it actually worked, and bolts started coming off as if we were making a cable TV show.
So while we take off these mildly rusty bolts, I know the owner of this place will probably not want me to tell you about it, but I will, because he's probably the nicest person I've ever met. The guy's name is Travis Bell, and he runs a awesome company called Celebrity Machines. And this is not like a plug or anything. He's just my friend who lets me do this silly car stuff. And what Celebrity Machines does is it makes license plates, like custom license plates. And this is the kind of stuff that he makes. So this is my Wrenchworks license plate. This is what we're gonna give people for my, well, my first failed attempt at a car event. But he makes license plates for all sorts of things, for movies, for props, and you can buy like Back to the Future license plates, like everything you can imagine. Just go to the website. That's again, shameless plug, not a sponsor or anything, just a friend. But definitely go check them out. Really, really high quality, really good people. Oh boy, we're gonna replace this.
Why?
Yeah, I know it looks good, but
It looks
you know,
great.
we can still use it. I know. And then we can wiggle this out like that. And that should be nice and free. It's gonna be really close. Hold it. My head.
You can move out.
Okay. Ooh.
Thanks, Scott.
Let's move to the front over here. Sweet.
When he's not filming the movie Spider-Man, he's helping out on the...
So back home we have Jack, who looks like Peyton Manning and Eminem had a baby, and now we have Spider-Man. Yeah, wonderful.
I left the suit at home.
But it's okay because Tommy is Joey Fatone. Pro tip: you definitely don't want to take off the drain first, because if something happens and you can't fill it up, then you are screwed. So the first time you take off anything on a diff, in terms of getting fluid out, you definitely want to take the fill port out. Okay. So you definitely want to do that. Hurt your hand real bad, but you do it again because you're a glutton for punishment. We're just gonna use a cheater bar and break this tool in half. Hold on. Ah, that's good. That came from my hand. I can always smell it. It's a smelly smell. That smells smelly. Is it a squirter? Is it a dribbler?
No.
Wouldn't it be really funny if nothing came out of this?
We better hope there's something.
1, 2, 3. Oh, okay.
It's not bad.
There we go. Ooh, oh. Looks like StripCon 2024. Look at that.
Shiny.
She's metallic. It's a pearl. It's a pearl effect.
That's, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, that's really bad.
I feel like this diff might have had it. Rode hard and put away broken.
After draining all of the sparkles from the rear end, I removed the bolts from the rear drive shaft rubber coupling, known in the industry as, and I'm not joking, a guibo. A pry bar then makes some room between the loose drive shaft and rear end, and the whole thing is swung down, ready to smash me in the head when I inevitably forget it's there. Then come the suspension bolts, and even though it's our first time doing this, we are men, and therefore think we've found a shortcut.
So the trick here is to basically get the suspension, the knuckle, away from the rest of the suspension, so we don't have to take off the axle. Because if we have to take that off the axle, we have to get a new axle nut, and then it's really messy. We have to mess with the brakes, even though we are going to be doing the brakes. But this way, we can move this a little bit, and then we can pry the axle away, and then we do 3 bolts, and then the rear end comes out, and then I want to see what's actually wrong with that rear end.
Everything.
Yeah, it's going to be everything.
With your luck, it's everything.
It's going to be many, many things.
Equipped with an impact gun and a big pry bar, Rex and I took off everything that looked like it could hinder our progress and slowly pried the axles out of the differential. It's a system that's relatively easy to service, even if it is a little bit finicky.
So we're taking off this heat shield because we need to take off 2 bolts, and this is so weird because one of the bolts goes this way, and then the other one goes that way. And we have to make sure that they go the correct way, because otherwise, if we put the bolt in, we'll never be able to get it out. So I love the way it's designed. It's like we had one guy on this bolt, one guy on that bolt, and like 3 more committee members put the rest together, and none of them had any communication.
After busting a few nuts off, it was time to get the hydraulic transmission jack out to quickly pump it up to its working height.
Oh, gotta get into a rhythm. The stroke is small, but the RPMs are high. So Rex, just pull that out.
That's one.
All right. Rex is really good at pulling out. All right, let's
I know.
move that one out. Now we are free. Put this wherever you want, baby. And then if this lowers down, we should be Gucci fam. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at it. Oh, it's a boy. Oh, look at him.
Wait, there's oh, not anymore.
That's good enough. Good enough for who it's for. And now we're going to lower this all the way down so I can spend the next 5 years pumping the new one back up.
That thing looks mint.
It does look
We
nice.
should put it back.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, you got it there. Go. Go. Heavy duty.
Look at that. Yeah.
Lift with your back.
Yeah, lift with my back, not with my legs.
Now here's how this thing is supposed to work. The differential, or rear end, has gears inside it that convert the rotating motion from the drive shaft into forward motion through the axles to both the rear wheels. A pretty simple solution, but if it's broken, your car isn't going anywhere. So I had to take mine apart to see if it was indeed our clunking culprit.
Don't know if this is gonna work, but let's do it. Ooh, look at that. Just came right apart, didn't it?
Yeah. A lot.
Didn't it? Okay. They said this was gonna be hard. Look at this. All right, come here. Oof. So we have some real carnage there. So these teeth should be, well, they should not look like meth teeth. Every once in a while, this will just skip on these teeth because these teeth are non-existent. So wonderful. So that was our problem the entire time. I'm glad. now we have to clean this up, and we shall put another differential that we have acquired, and we'll put it in, and then the car should drive 1,000 miles. And that's it. And it's gonna have no other problems. We drove this thing like 500 feet, dude. I don't
After old clunky was out of the way, we sourced a good used diff locally and then hoisted it up into the car, pretty confident that at the very least, we would be able to drive down the road. Probably.
Just a little bit right there. Perfect. Boom. All right, now she should be good to go. There we are. Look at that, rear end is in. Now we just gotta bolt her up, and that ain't going nowhere. No, it is going somewhere. It's going 1,000 miles. All right, one thing that people are gonna be asking me is this the same rear end that's going back in? Meaning like the same ratio. And no, it's not. So what's known as a final gear ratio, or a ratio in this rear end, that actually determines what your RPM is at cruising, or really any gear. So this one is a taller ratio, but the number is actually smaller. So the ratio that came out of our, well, the broken differential, that was a 370. This is a 292, meaning that we're gonna have a lower RPM on cruising, and we'll get better fuel economy, that sort of thing, because the engine's not actually turning as much. But it will mean that we have taller gearing, meaning the acceleration won't be as brisk. But just to get home, I think this is gonna be totally fine. This does have a torque spec, but since it is, I believe GM worked with a German manufacturer to make these, so we're adopting that German standard of Gutentite. And I do have calibrated torque forearms, so hold on. Click, 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 click. Okay, there we go, we got that.
With the bolts as tight as my arms could make them, I got to work putting back every other bolt I had taken out. What's interesting is that even though most of the suspension is taken apart, I won't have to get in alignment afterwards because none of the bolts removed at the ends of the control arms were adjustable, which means that we just saved time, money, and learned how to do a pretty satisfying repair on a very rare car.
Now to finish this install, what we have to do is fill this with fluid, and it actually is very easy using Valvoline's full synthetic 75 W90, but the fluid is actually not the important part. The important part is this is the flex fill container, and instead of having a bottle and then having like a transfer pump or something, it's super easy. I just put this right in here like that, and then I just fill it. I just squeeze, and then all of the fluid goes in there, and I'll know that the diff is full if it starts a steady drip. Now 1 or 2 drips is fine. I have a little drip pan underneath me, but if there's a steady drip, I know that everything is full the way it's supposed to, and this is also exactly what I need in terms of the viscosity, and it has a friction modifier because this is an LSD, limited slip differential. I think there's only about 1 quart or something in here, but I bought 2 quarts just to be certain, and we are almost done. You can see that I get everything out of here without making a gigantic mess like I would with other bottles. So boom, look at that. This bottle is now empty. Okay. That may be a little too much, but that's a steady drip. We know she is full, but you can check out all of Valvoline's products in the link in the video description below. They are a very good supporter of this channel and these crazy builds. That sounds kind of gross.
As I crossed a big item off the to-do list, Rex reminded me of something I didn't write down. The insane container mold that had accumulated over the car's 8,000-mile, 6-month journey to the States. One great thing about detailing the interior of a Ute is that it's only half the size of a regular car's interior, so taking it apart doesn't actually take much effort. Rex starts by removing the seats, which are only held on by 2 bolts at the back and hinges at the front. That gives us access to take out the battery, which is behind the passenger seat. Even though it looks pretty new, it's good insurance to just get a new one that we know won't explode when some American electrons flow through it. Rex wipes down the moldy seats with heavy-duty degreaser and allows it to air dry before treating it with a leather conditioner. There really isn't a great way to get mold out of anything quickly, but going over the process a few times will ensure that we remove as much as possible and don't go home with some fun new diseases. While the seats are drying, the car is vacuumed, degreased, and defunkified, which I can assure you is even more satisfying in person than it is on camera. And as Rex put the clean leather seats back, Travis asked me to meet him outside because, in his words, I was overdue for my first positive Ute experience.
So Travis is letting me drive his SS Ute, and his is a little bit more special. I mean, mine's pretty special, but as you can see, I'm in the correct left-hand drive configuration. This was actually converted. So the front end of this is like a Pontiac G8, and this one is not a 6-speed manual, but is automatic. But I've never driven one of these, and I'm super excited. Now, it's not my car, and it is quite rare, so I don't want to go crazy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it for like a leisurely drive. Also, it's 20 degrees outside, so if I give it any throttle, realistically, it's gonna blow the rear tires off. So I don't want that to happen, but I just want to see what this thing's kind of about. Oh, that's good. That's nice. It's so cool looking out the back and then just seeing that massive hump for the tonneau cover. And like, I'm looking out the window and it's just this massive bed behind me. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And I'm gonna be sitting on the other side in my car and I'm gonna be shifting my own gears. Why doesn't everyone have one of these? Why do we buy F-150s? Why do we buy Ford Rangers when we can have one of these right now for like next to no money? So I'm also getting the real Ute experience because we are putting in some fuel. This thing is really quite thirsty, but I think it's worth it. Oh yeah. This thing is awesome. This thing is so cool. Dude, I'm in love. This is an awesome shop truck. Perfect.
And as perfect as that was, I wasn't about to risk crashing another person's super rare car for my own amusement. That would be dangerous. But I would ask the owner to show me what it could do on his private burnout pad.
Woo! Wow! That is awesome. I don't think F-150s can do that. I don't think they can.
But he wasn't done yet. Travis had another surprise in store for me in the form of car parts.
I believe we have upgrades.
Yes, well, I mean, you said you're going to drive it 1,000 miles. You're like, oh, I'm just going to get it and drive it 1,000 miles. Not that I don't doubt you. So, obviously, GM part number, right?
Okay.
And then what is little known is that Cadillac V-brakes fit the vehicle you're working on.
No way.
All 4 of them.
So we have brand new Cadillac CTS-V brakes that fit on our car. So we're going to be getting rid of whatever came on this car. We have pads and rotors, I believe. Look at that.
Done.
Look, ooh.
Yep.
They're drilled and slotted for her pleasure.
It'll throw you through the windshield. It'll change your life on this thing.
Cool, so hopefully I don't go through the windshield. We also have brand new tires because we got some brand new wheels. This thing is gonna be awesome.
Having better stopping power, regardless of power level, will always help your car's performance and handling ability. Not to mention, it looks incredibly cool. This kit has all factory parts, and the best part is that it's 99% bolt-on. The procedure is super easy. On the rear, just remove the 13mm brake line banjo bolt, then take off two 18mm bolts on the caliper, turn the rotor so you can loosen the parking brake shoe inside the rotor, then take the whole thing off. Now I did say 99% bolt-on because in the rear you'll have to use a saw to remove the lip on the brake dust shield. With the surface cleaned with brake cleaner, you can repeat the process in reverse with the new and improved parts. And the same process goes for the front, except there's no cutting and no parking brake to deal with. The pads and pins get greased and loaded in with the new calipers, and we can admire the before and after of what is one of the most satisfying modifications you can do on any car. But then comes the most annoying part, bleeding the brakes. Starting at the back, furthest from the brake master cylinder, I open and close the bleeder valves at the top of the calipers. And then each caliper has 2 bleeders, so I have to do this procedure 8 times in total. The idea is that somebody sits in the car and pumps the pedal and builds up pressure, and the unlucky soul sitting near the brake calipers has to crack open the bleeders, attach them to a reservoir to collect the fluid, and watch for bubbles. It really makes watching paint dry feel like an Avengers movie. And with that over with, I got some help from Travis's friends to put the Ute's massive exhaust back on the car. I then drained the engine oil, which looked like it was 30,000 miles overdue, and then filled the 6-liter V8 with Valvoline's new Restore and Protect 5W30. It's a premium full synthetic oil that removes deposits, and it helps the inside of our engine to look and function like new again. And speaking of new, earlier in the day, the guys managed to grab a set of wheels off another car in Travis's garage, belonging to Scott, the dude that looked like Peter Parker. They took the wheels along with the new tires in the cargo Vanchez to get them mounted and balanced, and the results speak for themselves.
What we got is this bad boy right here. These are Cadillac CTS-V wheels to go with our CTS-V brakes. And brand new Bridgestone tires. This is looking amazing. We're gonna get these on, we're gonna get this on the ground, and then it's not exactly ready to go. It's actually midnight right now. I need to leave in a few hours. But once we get this on, there's a few more things we have to do, and then we can drive 1,000 miles. I probably should do a test drive. Nah. Oh yeah. Look at that. Dude. And it still has to settle, so it'll probably go down lower than that.
I think it's rad.
That looks so cool!
Oh my god, dude.
Dude, it's like the perfect stance. That looks so awesome. That's like right there. That's
crazy good. From out of the container 2.5 days ago.
Yeah. That I feel like that is a result.
The following morning, after crossing some more things off the list, it was time to tackle the fender, which was a factory part for a Pontiac G8. The removal process was really easy. Just a few 10mm bolts at the top, front, and sides, and the whole thing comes off without any drama. And Travis being Travis, had a fender laying around from an actual Holden, and even though it was red in color, it fit perfectly after some finagling. And with the bumper attached, the fender liner attached, and all the wheels torqued, there was one last thing I was dying to do.
All right, it is finally time to get all of this stuff off of the windshield because we fixed all of it, I think. I don't know, we haven't tested the car, but definitely the transmission issue, we're gonna take that right off. And wow, this is a lot harder than I thought. We definitely fixed the diff clunky. So diff no longer clunky, has trouble starting. We don't know if that's still the case, but we have a new battery. Oh, thank you, Travis. Travis has given me glass cleaner. No trouble starting, no diff clunky, and no crappy transmission. And then something about start required. And we're definitely not United Loan Solutions. So all of this can go bye-bye. I'm gonna clean this, and then we can get on the road. And I wanted to get on the road about 6 o'clock this morning, and it is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have a 14-hour drive ahead of me. Yeah, okay. 3, 2, 1. All right.
My new Holden Ute was complete. At least this part of the build was. I still had to drive halfway across the country in one day in a car that had been in a shipping container 48 hours ago. So after thanking Travis again for his hospitality, I decided to give this purple junker a 1,000-mile test drive.
This is the first drive of my Ute. Put into first gear, clutch engagement is good. Oh, this is nice. First question, do the brakes work? Yep, brakes work. Now it still is a little bit smoky coming from that engine bay. I can see the oil vapor coming off the catch can, and it is, it's not alarming yet. Car's not on fire, so I think we're okay. Also, the low end torque of this thing is amazing. Brakes are good, goes into gear just fine, doesn't overheat. We have fluids, we have coolant, oil, the diff. This should be an okay drive. The only thing we haven't really done is do a four-wheel alignment. So the alignment might be a little bit off, especially if this has been in an accident, but at this point, beggars can't be choosers. The car is charging, which is good. It holds good oil pressure. It's holding the road, no problem at all. And I have the buttons for the windows right here in the middle, like a sports car. Pulls a slight bit to the right, and there is an oil smell coming into the car, but it's not that big a deal. And we did install a new cabin air filter, and that is working well. But we have speedometer, gauges, everything works. Now, unless that engine decides to completely give up, I think we got a really good car. Like a really good car. Ooh. So the differential I have in this makes the gearing a lot longer, meaning that we should have a good cruising speed, but I'm in third gear, doing 2,000 RPM, and I'm around 50 miles an hour. So I think at cruising speed, we should really get some good gas mileage from this thing, which is good because it's a 6-liter V8 and it can use all the economy it can get.
For me, long road trips are always fun because you get to see new parts of the country and truly appreciate where you've been. The fact that I left at 4 p.m. would mean that I'd have to drive the entire night, but it also allowed me to see the amazing Midwestern sunset where the sky looked like it was literally on fire. Not to mention that I wouldn't be hitting any rush hour traffic, so it made sense to put my foot down and devour some miles.
All right, situation report. The Ute is doing great, but take a look at that thing. That is a Honda Civic that has the Christmas spirit. Oh yeah.
After a few hours, I pulled over for a routine snack and fuel break, but instead found something quite alarming.
Okay, first fuel stop in the Ute, and let's see how much it used. 11 gallons. I'm gonna do some math real quick, but one thing I wanted to point to is this. Now, unfortunately, these tires are a little bit too wide. So these are 285s. I think we need like 275s or maybe 265s because this is rubbing pretty bad on bumps. I mean, like we don't even have like a finger gap in here. So as you can imagine, when it bumps, it just goes right into the tire and it's been eating up the tire. It's not terrible, but it doesn't look great. And it's the same thing on the other side. Like this is, yeah, that's not good. Hopefully that's not gonna be a big deal. I do have 2 spares that I could use. Hope I won't need them. Really hope I won't need them. All right, now I should mention that we are in Bowling Green, Kentucky. That is the birthplace of the Chevy Corvette and the LS engine. So, I don't know, feels like this thing is coming home. Hopefully we don't stay here because of those tires. But the fuel economy of this car is actually quite good. It returned 18.2 miles to the gallon, which for a 6-liter V8 with a 6-speed and, well, nothing really economical about it, I think that's pretty good. Plus, I was going about 75 to 90 miles an hour, and that seems reasonable. That seems really, really good. Way better than any Lamborghini or Ferrari. So I'm liking this car a lot. But real quick, before I set off again, I wanted to give you a little bit of a tour inside this car. Now, everything here is red. All the gauges are red except for this. This is the AC control, but I think it might be wired improperly because if I turn this dial, that corresponds to the right AC and then this corresponds to the left. So maybe some wires across there. Also, this is in Fahrenheit, not in Celsius, which is really, really weird for an Australian car. Now we do actually have an aftermarket double DIN audio system with Bluetooth, which is awesome. So I'm listening to all my music and the music sounds pretty good. Can't let you listen to it though because it's all copyrighted. So this is actually called the Atari gauges because they look like they're from an Atari. Now I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a little dirt bike inside the dash. That is actually the fan. And yeah, I think the fan it's on its way out. Another thing I've noticed is that it's getting a little bit smoky in here, and that's because the catch can is putting all the oil smoke directly into the path of where the cabin gets its air. Yeah, it's getting real smoky in here. I'm gonna lower the windows, and the windows are right here. I have a lot of snacks. Sorry, I'm a slob. Here's my camera setup, and then that's my phone setup. But we don't have any warning lights at all. This is super, super cool.
Whenever you build a car in a short amount of time, you're gonna make mistakes. Thankfully, the tire hadn't exploded or bubbled in the few hundred miles that I had already put on the car. But that didn't mean that I was out of the woods yet. Quite the opposite.
Gas stop number 2, and we are at the happiest place on earth, Buc-ee's. I only managed 15 miles to the gallon, but we were going up and down hills, and that's fine and all. But the tire situation has gotten quite a bit worse, so this is not not great. And also, look at that, it pulled the fender out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to roll this fender with this in the Buc-ee's parking lot. So I'm just going to kind of do one of these. Just put that back where it came from. Nobody will know. Like that, like that. And hopefully it won't eat my tire and I won't have a giant accident.
The roadside fix actually took me half an hour to do because I wanted to roll back as much of the rubbing fender as possible. But with a spare jack handle in the bed of the Ute, I didn't have anything proper to do it with. But I was still pretty confident that my rigging worked and that my rubbing problem was finally solved. With the annoying rubbing problem just as bad as it ever was, I decided to do like my friend Derek from Vice Grip Garage does and pretend I didn't see it. But what I did see was the sky lighting up, the roads getting twistier, and people getting more aggressive, which could only mean one thing.
Welcome everyone to downtown Atlanta. This is the halfway point, and it actually looks really cool with the fog and the nighttime and the no traffic, which is really, really good. Now, I'm a little bit tired because, as you can imagine, I've been driving for about 7.5 hours now, and I am reaching the halfway point. Now, I haven't solved the tire rubbing issue. It's changed the pitch of the tire rubbing a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I am falling in love with this car. This thing is so good. It has the torque when you need it. It has the power when you need it. It sounds fantastic. It's really easy to drive. The steering feels tight and it feels heavy and substantial. It just feels like not really a muscle car, but it feels more planted than that. And then I look back and it looks like a pickup truck. It has the practicality of a pickup truck. I love this thing. So I have to pat myself on the back here because this was an amazing car purchase, and I have no one but Travis Bell to thank for this awesome, awesome car.
At this point, my Ute had taken me nearly 500 miles closer to home with no breakdowns and in relative comfort. And the fact that this experience cost me less than $10,000 was absolutely blowing my mind. I could not imagine how it could be any better, but as it turned out, the big stupid Ute had another surprise in store for me.
Welcome everyone to 4 o'clock in the morning. This is the final fuel stop of the Ute, and hopefully it is the final stop before we hit my house. We're not gonna hit anything. I'm just gonna get to my house. My brain doesn't work right now, but one thing that does work is this car, because I am glad to report that we have reached 20 miles to the gallon in this thing, and I haven't been taking it easy. It's just, maybe it's the Florida air. I actually don't know if we're in Florida. We might not be in Florida, but this is, well, look at the tire. The tire is, honestly, it looks all right. There's some gouges. There's a little deep gouge in there, you know, but I think my roll job has worked temporarily. I think we definitely have to do a more permanent fix when we get to the shop, but hopefully we get to the shop in one piece and I don't have to change those tires on the side of the road, because that would suck. But now I have 3 hours left to go. I'm actually feeling okay, but the last 3 hours is usually the most boring and it takes the longest. I mean, it's gonna take 3 hours, but it feels like the longest. But here we go.
As it got foggier, my brain seemed to lock in on the never-ending lane markers and small clusters of traffic, which finally seemed to die down as soon as I reached the Sunshine State.
All All right, almost there. Now, it looks like it's just pitch black outside because it is. It's a little bit foggy, but I wanted to show you guys this. With the new rear end ratio, we are at just over 2,000 RPM, and we're doing like 100 miles an hour. Now, the traffic is also going about 100 miles an hour. Welcome to Florida. But this thing cruises so nicely. I don't know what the math ends up being if we have a 6,000 or 6,500 RPM rev limit, but what would the top speed of this car potentially be if we had the power? I bet that would be like over 200. It would have to be, right? Somebody in the comments let me know.
With the hammer as down as I felt comfortable with in the middle of the night, I did my best to race the sunrise back to my house.
All right, so I have made it, and it is 6 in the morning, which means that I've been driving for about 14 hours, but made it 1,000 miles. That's really good. The car is flawless, other than, well, my mistake of putting the wider tires on there. But I am gonna get some sleep. I'm gonna get some sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up in a few hours, and then I'm gonna take that car. You can't even see it. That's how dark it is. There's a purple car back there. I'm gonna take that car to the shop.
The next morning, the Ute was welcomed to my shop for the first time. Unfortunately, I realized that there were several unwelcome stragglers that also made the trip with me. The car was full of ants, and although I didn't notice it at first, it's likely that they may have come over on the container. So with Rex in his element, he took it upon himself to remove these pests with extreme prejudice and give the car a good clean at the same time. He started, as always, by cleaning the wheels. Then he opened up the Ute's hard lid and washed out what looked like hay from an Australian farm. And after rinsing the car, he used G-Technic's foam wash to paint the car marshmallow white. A wash mitt agitates the remaining dirt, and the whole thing is rinsed off so the paint underneath can be examined. Now, we're not polishing this car with a crazy paint correction because it's a shop truck, and it still has a red fender and cracked bumper cover. I just wanted to remove all the road salt and grime from its 1,000-mile trek, so I wouldn't feel bad about driving this thing every day to and from the shop. The last thing Rex did after the wash was remove the terrible window tint. It's fine if a car is purple, but if your window tint turns purple, throw it away. A steam machine and a scraper make short work of all the tint in the cabin, and to be honest, I sorta dig the fishbowl look. And with that morning's work completed, here it is. Our new shop truck, the 2008 Holden SSV Ute. It was born, raised, and nearly killed in Australia before it was sold needing repair to an idiot YouTuber 8,000 miles away. And over the last 3 days, it strengthened bonds, brought strangers together in newfound friendships, and showed me that you don't need an expensive car to have an unforgettable car adventure. The only thing I had left to do was to take it on its first drive as my new daily.
Now let me explain something to you about this car, truck, whatever you want to call it. This is perfect. Not only does it have all the power that you need, even with the really tall rear end ratio, but like going around corners, it feels like a car, like an actual performance car, performance machine. And you know that you don't have any weight on the back because the tires just want to light up. But if you just give it some gas, let's say I'm in second gear, and even with the long rear end ratio, oh yeah. It sounds amazing. And also we were going way faster than I thought.
So I'll be honest with you, I'm not really a big fan of the LS soundtrack. I think every single LS in the world sounds like a C5 Corvette. But I realized that for this Ute, it actually fits the personality of this thing 100%. And I thought I would hate the right-hand drive aspect of this, but I really don't. It's fantastic. You get used to it after 10 minutes. It's easy to stay in the lane. The clutch is super nice. I have installed it once, and watch me install it right now as I say this. And when you're really on it, it is glorious. Oh yeah! Wow! That is good. And rev mat downshift. Oh my goodness. This isn't over. I still have quite a bit to do on this Ute. And I think my plans definitely changed from when I started this trip, because I wanted to keep this car, but I don't think I can anymore. Let me explain. This is my friend Travis. I've been talking him up the entire episode because he's a good guy, and you'll know this by what you've seen in the video. But what you might not know is that he hosts a huge car event in his backyard called Outback in the Midwest every summer. More than 500 cars park on Travis's property to enjoy the company of like-minded car nuts, eat great barbecue, and enjoy the smell of tire smoke while getting the chance to win an Australian burnout machine of their very own. That's right, every year, Travis gives a car away to someone in the crowd, and all of the proceeds go to a good cause. And last year, instead of a traditional charity, Travis decided that all of the money would go to a very deserving person. This is Tyler. Tyler is a regular 17-year-old kid that absolutely loves cars. He's smart, funny, and he loves his family. He's a friend to everyone he meets, and because his family takes him to every local car show around, I actually got to meet him during my time with Travis. And honestly, he is cooler than I can ever hope to be. Tyler also has a condition called Coffin-Lowry syndrome that makes things like walking and talking very difficult for him. It's a very rare condition that affects 1 in 50,000 people. And because it can affect brain function and lifespan pretty severely, every day that Tyler is around is indeed a blessing that shouldn't be taken for granted. Last year, because of Travis's event and the car he gave away, Tyler got a new bed, a new van, and for the first time ever, he went on a Disney cruise to the Bahamas with his whole family. And I think this year, we can do even better. And that's why this car is going to be perfect for the giveaway in Travis's next event in August of 2025. But we're not just going to give it to him like this. We're going to turn this into the best Ute you have ever seen. And that's why I need your help, because I want you guys to let me know what that looks like. Do we keep the Morpheus Purple? Do we give it a supercharger? Do we twin turbo it? Do we make this thing a burnout machine? Do we make this thing tow? Let me know in the comments, because I want this to be the most epic build that people can get excited about, and we can help out Tyler and his family. Obviously, I do like the car. I love it. It's perfect for what we have here at the shop, but I think if we have the ability to help out Tyler and his family, we have to do that 100%. Also, if you want to help out Tyler right now, there is a GoFundMe in the link in the description below. We set it up for his family, and every single dollar will go to him and his family. So give generously if you can. It is the holiday season, and I will as well. But I am super excited to get this project off the ground. You guys let me know in the comments, and as always, wrench every day.